We are back. Retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, who's out with a timely new book, The Folly of Realism, How the West Deceived Itself While Russia Betrayed Ukraine. Welcome back. Of course, we're here on the day after the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I just want to start, of course, you served on the National Security Council during President Trump's first term. You famously testified during his impeachment proceedings over his pressuring of Ukraine. I just want to get first with your reaction yesterday when you wake up and see the United States voting with Russia and Belarus and North Korea against Ukraine and our European allies in the United Nations.
If you take it out of context and just as if you were watching a movie, you'd think this has got to be the Manchurian Candidate. How is it that somebody that is so far leaning into our enemies and a completely reversal of our roles, forget about our allies, NATO, the Europeans, Ukraine, who we've been supporting for 3 years, complete reversal, bending over backwards to accommodate Putin, and for what reason? Russia, for what reason?
How do you explain it?
It is hard to explain. First of all, I don't believe in conspiracies. I've been in government. It's a leaky sieve. We both have. It's hard to keep something secret like that. So I don't buy into the fact that there's like compromising material on him. But you do have to wonder why Trump is leaning so heavily towards Russia. And some of those are, some of that's probably Trump just simply looking to snub all the naysayers, everybody that said, no, you can't have a relationship with Russia. But there might be something else in it, it's something highly transactional. This is not a new president. This is his second term. He worked with Putin the first time, didn't manage to accomplish a lot. I'm not sure what convinces him that this is the opportunity for him to reset relations and that he could win this round.
This is not only professional for you, it's personal as well. You were born in Ukraine. But what do you say to a lot of Americans who say, listen, we've been supporting Ukraine for a long time. It's been 3 years. Why should we care?
We've been supporting Ukraine for longer than that. It's just we've been doing it inadequately. We needed that relationship early back on in the 90s. Ukraine had the third largest nuclear arsenal, 4,000 nuclear weapons. We convinced them to get rid of them. We also said that we will be there for them if they ever get attacked. That didn't happen. There were multiple steps where we didn't live up to our own obligations that we set for ourselves. Right now, Ukraine is holding the line. They're defending Europe. Europe is important to us because it's our largest trading partner. It's the core of our alliance. If Ukraine crumbles, if Russia advances, Europe is on the chopping block. The U.S. is under threat. So it's absolutely essential that not only Putin lose, but also other authoritarian leaders like Xi, the leader of China, get the message that military aggression does not pay off. We cannot break at this point. If we do, it really sets a pattern of much more aggressive adversaries.
But President Zelensky is in a very tough spot right now. He's being called a dictator by the United States president, who's making all sorts of demands for the natural resources of Ukraine. How should he respond?
I think the fact is that the Ukrainians are going to bend over backwards to try to accommodate, to see if there's a deal that can be made. And there are some things that can be worked out. This resource deal actually could be mutually beneficial. It can't be extortion. It can't be saying, give us half of your trillions of dollars worth of mineral wealth. But if the U.S. is investing, that's important to Ukraine. It's a reason that it's another hook for why that relationship should be preserved. We want values. We want the fact that we want this to be a thriving democracy that defends against authoritarianism. But we also need interests, which is that economic component.
How does this war end? How should it end?
I served in the U.S. military for 22 years, sat in Kiev in the embassy, Moscow in the embassy, wrote the strategy in the Pentagon, then ended up in the White House, where I became a public figure when I reported Donald Trump's corruption, resulting in the first impeachment. To me, what Trump is doing is the exact opposite of what brings us to peace. It's capitulating. It's giving in to Putin even before negotiations start. Then the next step is Putin is going to look for more. I mean, I'm not sure what more we could give away, whereas Ukraine is willing to compromise maximally. And what we need to do is we need to continue to pressure Russia. They're the ones that need to go to the table ready to compromise. We're far from that at this moment.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me on.
Folly of Realism is available now.